Here's something that's, well, I thought it was quite interesting. Some of you, when you hear it, you'll be like, oh, that's quite interesting, that is. Some others among you will be like, that's quite interesting, that is. And then there'll be others who'll be like, yeah, that's quite interesting. You know, there's going to be a few takes on this depending on what your journey is. But some people will get the gist of where I'm going with this. But anyway, I was reading about this place called Iberie. Sometimes it's pronounced Iberia. This is the place where, in this particular book that I'm reading at the minute, where Moses was sent on his mission to basically give civilization again to a particular tribe of people, to reintroduce them to civilization and get them out of their terrible condition that they were in, whilst being roped off in the Caucasus Mountains for 2,000 years. And in the book, it says he got sent up into the Caucasus, into Iberie. And I was like, hold on a second. That sounds like Iberia on the Spanish Peninsula. And I was like, surely that's like a typo. It means something else. But when I checked it out, that's like the original Iberia on the coast of the Black Sea, where modern day Georgia is. And I was like, well, look at that. You learn something new every day. And then my brain started to, like, you know, make connections and all that. I was like, hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Let me check out this word Iberia. So anyway, the book goes on. And according to this particular scholar called Davidley, it's spelt Y-A-I-R, so however you pronounce it. I don't know. I'm probably butchering the name. But anyway, the etymology of that word, the root of that word, Iberie, means Hebrew. And I'm like, okay. You know, that's very, very interesting, that is. It means Hebrew. It's like, well, that kind of makes sense. Because the first Caucasians that Moses taught and helped to take out of the Caucasus, but Hebrews, the take on a persona of Israelites in the Bible, the same people. So I was like, okay, this makes more sense now. So anyway, so now it's caught my ear. So then I remember reading the Scotti Chronicon, I think it's called. Oh, I always mess the pronunciation up, but I'm pretty sure it's called the Scotti Chronicon. This is like an old historical / mythological book of the origin of the Scottish people. And it talks about them being named after an Egyptian princess called Scotia, or sometimes Scotia. And the first time I read that, I was like, okay, that's a weird connection. But over years, when like you read ancient history and all that, it's not so far-fetched when you read about the trading between, you know, certain ancient peoples like the Phoenicians and whatnot. Anyway, I'm digressing. So I started to think about that. And in that particular story with Scotia, apparently she married a Scythian king. Now, the people of that particular area, what I've just mentioned, the Iberie. That's where the Scythians were. And the Greeks called that particular nomadic peoples Scythians, but the people themselves called themselves the Scolotti. And there's people called the Scolts who were for around that area, who wandered northwards up through Russia, and now I think they like stayed around Finland area, called the Scolts. So obviously these guys are related, you know, through time. Scolts, Scolotti, Scotland, Scots. Do you know what I mean? It's the phonetics are too familiar for me to like disregard it and the people from around the area. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, so in the origin story of the Scots, the Egyptian princess and her husband and the followers, they got kicked out of Egypt, and she was supposed to be in some other writings the daughter of Akhenaten when he got run out of Egypt for his trying to force the people to worship the one Aton, the one God, which they didn't like. So anyway, on their travels around the Mediterranean, around Spain, lodging there for a bit, warring with the Celts that were there, then went on the way into Ireland. Now, in history, the Scottish people, the Scots, they were from Ireland, and they went over into what's now called Scotland, and warred with the people there who were known as the Picts. The Irish Scots prevailed, and now that's why Scotland's called Scotland, because of the Scots from Ireland. But yeah, I mean, when you look at that type of history, you know, bagpipes, Scottish have bagpipes, Irish have bagpipes. Around Portugal, they have bagpipes. You know, they've got bagpipes in Kenya. You know, and the Scythians were known for their bagpipes too. So all of this now, that's what I'm saying about reading and getting from other sources and whatnot. You get more of a bigger picture. All the pieces start to make a bigger picture. And you see things more clearly. So yeah, I mean, that's what I found out the other day. There's another Iberia, which I thought was fascinating. And like I say, there'll be 3 different classes of people here who will take note of this, of what I'm saying. And, you know, this will be very, very interesting to some people on a particular journey. Let me just say that. But where I got Iberia from, or the Iberie from the Black Sea, is a book called Farrakhan, The Jesus Factor. It's a short book, but the knowledge in there is very profound. Very, well, I'm not going to say very, it is life-changing. You'll view the Bible with a brand new lens. Because the Bible is one of them books. It's known as the poison book when you don't know how to read it. But when you have a particular lens to view it through, then it's a different kettle of fish, let me tell you. But yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. So do with that what you will. Peace.